Hello, my fellow DBZ fans, and welcome to another edition of Pennies for Thoughts. I'm your host, Jay Money, and for today's topic, I'm going to be discussing the new fan-made series, Dragon Ball Z Light of Hope. Producers is a YouTube channel named Robot Underdog, and I'm just going to be discussing my viewpoints, my overall reaction to the pilot, and where I feel like this series could and possibly be going, given the right direction. Okay, now to start off, I'm gonna rate it right now at a solid 8 out of 10 because it surpassed my expectations, but still had a few things wrong. Not necessarily wrong with it, but in my opinion, a few things that need a little bit of work. Now I'm gonna start off with the good things, which like 80% of it is good, 8 out of 10. And I want to point out the talent of the actors. First off, I think the person that they casted for Gohan, spot on, perfect. You could tell that he's probably has been a DBZ fan for a while, and he portrays Gohan in a lifelike attitude very well. When I say lifelike attitude, is because it is very hard to adapt an anime style character to a live action character, especially a shonen. But he did it very well done. My other favorite, my other favorite that deserves praise because it really stood out was Android 17. I got chills when I was watching him shoot people and then blast people, and just to hear his overall eerie, scary tone, I got chills. And I feel like in Dragon Ball Z, when Trunks came back to warn Goku of the androids in the anime, I feel like that's who 17 was. That scary, eerie kind of person. We didn't get much of a chance to see or listen to too much of Android 18, but she's equally as eerie, and they have awesome blue highlighted eyes, and it was just freaking really scary, but also really cool to see them. Now, even though we only saw Bulma's character for a short little bit, I feel like in those maybe like in that 1 minute or so, that I already got a good enough feeling to know that they casted a perfect Bulma, because she showed a lot of talent as an actor, just in her facial expressions and how she bid Trunks farewell, say goodbye and all that. When Trunks left and said, "Oh, I'm gonna go train with Gohan, bye," you could see the turmoil, the desperation, and the fear, the despair in her eyes and her facial expression. It was just really genuine and really good. It matched the times perfectly. I want to talk about my favorite parts now. My favorite part overall was the Super Saiyan transformation that Gohan did when he was fighting Android 17. That was epic! I loved it. It was freaking sweet. They couldn't have done a better job. The music, the sound effects, the dramatization, it almost brought tears to my eyes, and I was just like, thank you for giving us a great live action Super Saiyan transformation. Perfect, spot on, loved it. Now, with all those good things being said, I kind of want to talk about the bad. I need to talk about the negative a little bit. Now, first off, I want to say that it seems like every time someone tries to make a fan-based series on YouTube, they cut short for whatever reason, and they don't really finish their project. And it really leaves me disappointed, and I really hope that these guys don't do that, because I have never been more excited for something in years. I mean, this is full-on excitement. Can't wait to see more of it. I want to see more. I just need to see more. So please try and stay on top of it, Robot Underdog, and you won my heart. I'll tell you that right now. You won my heart. The only 2 other negative things I have to say about the series. Now, they're not huge, but I do feel like they need to be mentioned. And please don't hate me for it, but I want to mention the pacing. And I know that you're doing a show on YouTube and you only have a certain amount of time. So, with that being said, I still feel like the pacing could have been slowed down a little bit towards the introduction of like certain fight sequences, like when Trunks and Gohan, they go in there to fight Android 17 and 18. It was a very like fast-paced introduction. I feel like for dramatization's sake, it could have been slowed down a little bit to, you know, where they're greeting each other and saying, "Oh, you think that hurt?" or whatever, something he said. But I feel like it could have been slowed down a little bit to bring up the drama, to bring up the hype of the battle. Oh, that battle was awesome though. It was sweet Dragon Ball Z effects. Stay on track. Okay. And the only other problem I had was with the music. I felt like the music was a little bit too high, and it kind of overshadowed the voice acting. It almost, because with the music and the pace of the pilot, it almost made it seem like it was just a very long trailer. And I mean, I'm not trying to be too negative, but it really did seem like just a very long trailer to me. And I hope that maybe they might be able to fix the pacing a little bit and change up the music to where it's not as repetitive, and try and like tone down the music a little bit to where you can hear the sound effects and the actors a little bit more. But overall, I freaking loved it, and I can't wait to see more. I really have the highest hopes for the Robot Underdogs production, and I wish them the best of luck. So with that being said, that's the conclusion of my video. If you guys have any comments or different opinions, feel free to express them in the comments below. Thank you guys. Take it easy.